to share one of our important life event, basically the process of our first home buy. I'm going to share the process, the mistakes we made, the learnings we had, with the hope this might help even one or two of you watching this video. So it was early 2020. My son, who was a toddler then, he was hardly 2 years around. And, we started feeling the need of a little bigger space. The lease renewals were due and they were hiking up the fees. So it kind of pinched us somewhere. And that pushed us toward the decision of owning a place on our own. We thought we could save up on some rents, things like that. However, after 3 years, I've come to realize that along with the mortgage, there are a few other things to be considered for. For example, HOAs. If you buy a condo or townhomes, the HOAs are higher. For single family homes, the HOAs are less, but this is something you would like to consider. Then the increased utilities, when you compare it to an apartment. The property taxes, which is a major miss. At least in our calculation, it was a major miss, and I would like to point it out here. So the property taxes is something that you would like to consider, and the ongoing, the maintenance responsibility. So then, here we were setting up a very strict budget for ourselves. Instead of researching the market, researching the places which we would want to stay, um, understanding our needs as a family, finding a good real estate agent, and then arriving at a place where you better understand what is a suitable budget for you. We started out with first having a very strict budget. Now that limited our search, that blinded us from our own needs. So then we went to our bank and we requested them to provide us with a pre approval letter. Now, this is very separate from the actual loan shopping process, and I think I'm going to make a separate video on that. This is just a formality, it takes hardly a day or two, and your bank can just give you a pre approval letter. So the banker had asked us if we had any real estate agent, and we didn't have one. So, yes, we were that naive. So she referred us to a real estate agent. Frankly speaking, we don't like her. I do not think we should have gone ahead with that real estate agent. We should have done our own due research on the agent, because in the States, real estate agent is a very important factor. So, now that we had a pre approval letter, a real estate agent, we were ready to start our search. We did spend a little bit of time on understanding our needs, but I think we did not spend enough time. We just thought that, okay, we need bigger space. The place must be very easily commutable to our work. It must have good elementary schools, and the neighborhood should, of course, be safe. We are staying with family. And just with these things, just concentrating on the present needs and not on future needs or anything, we started our search. So because we wanted easy commute, um, so we started seeing in Seattle downtown. Now, our agent did not advise us that the budget we had was not at all a good one to find a place in downtown which would be safe and suitable for families, especially families with young children. The houses that we were seeing within, the houses that were within our budget were really pathetic. Like, most of them had bad layouts, most of them had safety issues, few of them did not even have covered parking, And sooner we realized that, okay, if we have to see a suitable place, if we have to choose a place which we could call home, we have to shift to these suburbs. And that we did. So before I start again sharing our story when we were looking houses in the suburbs, I would like to mention that at that time, that is early 2020s, just before COVID had hit, the interest rates were crazy low. And that should have been the reason for us to increase our hard set budget by a little bit more. We should have taken advantage of that factor, which we were not aware. Again, usually agents are the ones to suggest you these type of things, and our agent. Um, okay, quickly, I would also like to add, like how we searched homes. Our agent would send us every week a couple of new listings in the market, but along with that, we used Redfin and Zillow to set our own criterias and search houses in the market and go to few open houses on our own. So yeah, that's how we basically ended up searching. Now, anyways, coming back to our search, um, as our budget was a little limited, and as Seattle area housing is crazy expensive, for our budget, we were checking out townhouses mostly. We checked family homes, very few, very few. So the advantage of townhouses are usually their construction is very modern, and usually townhouses are closer to the suburb complexes like the plazas and the malls. So you are closer to the hustle and bustle, which at that point we were very comfortable with. So that was an advantage of townhome. Um, so when we would check out houses, when we were going to check houses, because of the interest rates being low, or I don't know if there were some other reasons, we would always find huge rush, huge crowd in the open houses. Now, then when we would follow up with our agent, if we had let's say liked some house and we would follow up with our agent would come back and say that's gone, that has been booked. Now this kind of created a sense of FOMO in us. We were like, oh my god, I don't think we'll be able to buy a house, and in that we ended up in a rush. I think we must have been in the market hardly for 7 or 8 weeks, and we ended up finalizing our home. Having said that, I would like to mention that the townhouse that we ended up was a brand new townhome, as in we took it directly from the builders, and it was a very nice, modern, a spacious three-bedroom townhome, a pretty looking townhome. We ended up being lucky. So yeah, we spent almost 2.5 wonderful years in that house, and then right now we've rented it out. The reason why we had to move out was primarily we needed a little bit of more space now in the world of work from home for both of us. Our child now needing a dedicated space to himself. And also better schools to an extent. There were a few other reasons as well, and I would like to share them in a separate video. But yes, to kind of conclude, had we been more thoughtful, had we done better research and discussed, we could have avoided the pain of reshifting. But that's life, and also that's for another video. So yeah, once we finalized the property, we had to make an offer to the builder. Thankfully, there was no bidding at that time. Um, the buyer's agent usually charges 2.5 to 3%, which the seller pays. So basically, as a buyer, you don't have to pay anything to the agent. Just a quick recap of what we liked most in the property. It was a brand new home, and being new homeowners with no knowledge about maintaining your own house. If it's a new home, then the complaints are less, less defects and less issues. So that was one of the factors. The house was of a very contemporary design. The location was really nice, and I love the kitchen of the house the most. Location wise, apart from it being really far from office, it was really a great location. But then just as we shifted, work from home had started, so that wasn't a factor at all. um, then yes, we didn't do a lot of loan shopping. We did that during the second time. So yeah, I think we learned everything the hard way. Nevertheless, at that time, as the interest rates were too low and our loan amount wasn't huge, it didn't make a lot of difference. The very first bank we went, we got kind of good rates. We had made a down payment of 10% and we have opted for a conventional loan. Now, yes, many of us might think, at least we used to think, that making 20% down payment is essential, but it's not the case. It all depends on the market and the bank that you're working with. And that's one another reason that you should spend some time and research on your loan shopping. Yes, but usually banks require you to pay a PMI, which is called personal mortgage interest, if you are making a down payment of less than 20% of the total value of the property. So you can actually do your own calculations that paying PMI or making a down payment of 20% is whichever is financially beneficial for you. You can choose that. We chose to go with making a down payment of 10% and paying the PMI till we touch the 20% mark. Closing took 4 weeks for us, and then we were handed over the key and we moved into our new home. It is and will always be one of the finest and wonderful memories of our life that we've created. I'll share some of the moments, and if you have any questions, you can comment, and if I'm aware of it, I'll try my best to answer. Thank you, everyone. Take care and stay.